Hi, I'm Rachel.
And I'm Garrett, and welcome back to the Summer of Creativity with the Overmeyer Center.
Today we'll be chatting with our friends Bonnie, David, and Pastor Bill over at Harvest Church about set design.
Well, hello, my name is Bill Sparkman. I'm one of the associate pastors at Harvest Assembly. I've been on staff for about 25 years, and I have been involved in drama, set design for, oh my goodness, since early 90s. Actually, when I first got involved, it was a passion play, and back then I played Jesus on the cross. It's hard to believe now, but there was a time. And I also did the directing for that play. I would even direct from the cross. I need mourners over here or whatever. So it's been quite an adventure over these years.
I'm Bonnie Murdoch. I have been helping with VBS for 15 years, but with the set design, it captured my attention just a couple of years ago.
I'm David Alexander. I've been a part of VBS for about the same time, 15 years. Set design, 15 years.
For me, it would have been the passion play. Yeah.
For me, it would be a couple of years ago we did Rocky Railroad and we built a locomotive in the sanctuary. And I just kind of right-hand these two guys. So when Pastor Bill was like, hey, do you want to come in and help cut things? I'm like, sure. I was a single mom child, so power tools, no problem. And so, so I go through and cut things, and I was like, this is a lot of fun. I need to stop doing registration and do decoration.
For me, is I love to work with my hands. I have a background with building and construction, and the first VBS I was a part of, Pastor Bill asked me to help out and do a few things, and I gravitated to it right away because I'm like, oh wow, I get to make stuff from nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So yeah, that's my passion, is to take something from nothing and have to create it into whatever we can come up with.
Some of the designs we would come up with, David would challenge me. He would have some grandiose ideas. And so I would release him. I said, go for it. And never disappoints. Well, for Vacation Bible School, it starts by selecting a curriculum. Mm-hmm. And my wife and I, we are praying and going through different curriculums. And after we've identified the curriculum, I don't generally go through the curriculum thoroughly. I want to get vision from God. And so as I understand the theme and understand what they're teaching, I begin to pray. And God begins to download images and pictures in my spirit. And then I start to pull elements off the internet and start to develop some drawings, some concepts of what I'm thinking the stage will look like. Like for this particular stage, I've never been out to Monument Valley before. So I went to AAA insurance travel agency down the street, and I said, give me some maps, give me all the information you have about Monument Valley. Mm-hmm. I even called the visitors center at Monument Valley and asked them, tell me about your place, tell me about what kind of people go there. It was just some weird questions, but when I explained to her what I was trying to do, she was very helpful in providing some information. After I get vision and I put it into a drawing format and concepts, I'll bring in the creative team. Yes, exactly. And we will toss around ideas because there's wisdom in a multitude of counsel, mm-hmm. and there's so much creativity in our VBS, and so it all gels and comes together.
Once we have the concepts down, then it just kind of naturally, once we have it, we can take and run with it. Mm-hmm. So this all came up, the arch right behind us came up in a day.
Yeah.
We had to prepare, we prepared the paper, which is kind of a cardboard that we've soaked in water with stain or paint. and to soften it and to make it look rocky, but actually putting it up took a day, less than a day. It was like, what, 2 hours?
Yeah, a few hours. From there, we go into design and trying to determine material and scale,
Yes.
color and things like that. And so it's a process from concept to design. It will take a little bit of while. It doesn't happen overnight. We've, for our walls, for instance, that are behind us, we went through probably 15 variations before we determined that this is how we want to structure the wall, what's actually holding it behind it.
Right.
So, because cost comes into play
Yeah.
when you can visualize a lot, but at the same time, you have a budget that you have to keep into consideration too. You have to keep in weight, material, accessibility, how well can we move it?
Safety.
So there's a lot of factors that we think about when it comes to the actual concept, the vision to build and design.
We have our creative team, and we have a lot of people will come together in the big group. We'll get ideas, we'll pass around some words, some thoughts, some images, and then when it gets down to actual construction, it requires strategy first. And that is generally just a small group of us. We also have a general contractor we brought in last year when we were trying to figure out how to build a functional road bridge. And so it's a vast variety of skill levels. You've got your strategists that are thinking and helping you to figure out what materials and what's the best way to build this, what's going to support it, what's going to be safe. And it can vary. Sometimes all you need is some styrofoam or some paper, and
These are
other
styrofoam.
things you need metal studs. It takes a team of people to come up with what you see here. We are always going for the wow factor.
Yeah.
I remember we had a child come in with her parent. They were registering their child, and the child had her hands covering her eyes. And she said, "Mama, I don't want to see. I don't want to see until it's time." She was so excited about what she was anticipating, what we were going to do. And I remember a young man that came in and he said, "Look how much they love us." Which these are really driving motive, factors.
Have a vision, get a game plan together.
Do demos.
Yes.
We did lots of demos, like you said, we tried this a bunch of different ways till we found the way that worked, and then we could run with it. We got together and built the balancing rock over there on the other side of the platform just to see if it would work. Make sure it would stand well, make sure we could weight it well for safety, make sure it looked good. And it took us a little while to work through that. Once we did that, then we could run with the rest of the whole massive rock wall and so on.
And so that all the labor doesn't rest upon just a few, the prototype is very important. If you can get the prototype built, then you can have your unskilled labor come in and, okay, this goes here, this goes there, and you don't have to walk through the whole process all again. So we try to identify prototypes that can be reproduced.
Yeah, and then pricing. You got to go out and you got to price things before you just buy it, and really determine is foam board really cheaper, or could I go a different route, or is foam board cheaper, or 2x4s versus steel. So you really need to do some price shopping too on the materials you want to use. But again, you got to go through the design and vision first.
Safety. It is something you have to consider with your set construction. And consider your cast, because some may have physical limitations, some may be older, may have trouble with steps. So how do you make those accommodations? Sometimes I'll put safety tape along the edge of any step so it's clear. I elevate or lower things to make sure I remove trip hazards. I try to be careful where the wires are run. So all of that's very important as well.
As far as, do you have to be a master at this? No. In all reality, anybody with good vision and design can build. it would be helpful if you had somebody who understood construction, though.
Yes.
It would go a long way in allowing you to become more efficient in what you're doing. But if you have a vision, like I cannot draw for the life of me, but I can tell Bonnie and Pastor Bill what's in my mind, and they can put it on paper for me. We feed off of each other. I can build pretty much anything I put my mind to. I'm not saying that Pastor Bill couldn't, but we could get it done if we needed to. But having somebody with a strong construction background would be a huge benefit in building your designs. But it's not a requirement. If you know how to use a drill on a hot night, and you can get somebody to pretty much draw you a scale of what you want to do, and you can read a tape measure and operate a saw, you can build a design. It may take you a little bit longer, but it's doable, and it's a lot of fun while you do it too. And every time you do it, you're just going to get better and better and better, and you will become a master set designer if you stay with it. So
Yes.
Yeah, plus some of the people on our team, they won't do power tools,
Yeah.
but they'll sit and paint.
Yep.
So plugging the right person into the right place is important, because you want them to come, have fun, feel like they've contributed, and walk away happy, so they'll come back and do it again next year.
Yeah.
One thing that we might want to mention is, how we will sit in the room and you will play the music and you tell everybody to close your eyes.
Right.
We're going to pray. We're going to ask the Lord to bring into your mind whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy, and the ideas just
Exactly.
flow off people. It's, oh, I see this, I see that. Oh, how about if we did something like that? And then it's just, wow, we went from sitting there going,
This is
Huh?
impossible to.
how do we Arctic Edge?
Oh, yeah.
How do we create Mount Everest and do a snow scene? I mean, we couldn't think about it for a while,
Right.
and then we prayed, and music went on, and and then everybody just started visualizing, and the whole team was just sitting there, and I see this, I see this. I mean, we just started thinking every little thing that can go with the Arctic.
And God is the ultimate set designer.
Yeah.
Yes.
He is the
Yes.
creator. So we need to go to him for creativity. And the things that I express through creativity is not born with me. I mean, people are born with gifts, with talents. But a gift is a gift, and God has given me what I needed. And it's a gift that he's given me to be creative. He gives me ideas and gives me pictures, but I don't take personal ownership in it. It comes from the creator.
Yeah.
So this whole process from start to finish really puts me on my face before the Lord, because when I have a block and I feel like I'm not getting vision, or I'm not getting anything for a script or whatever it happens to be that I'm doing in preparation, I get on my face before the creator and I say, Father, I need a download. I need you to show me what to do. And he is faithful. He loves people. He loves the children. And he will give us that direction we need. I want to thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to share our hearts with you about creating set designs. We are passionate about it. We're passionate about the things that God is passionate about, and we have a creative God. So I want to encourage you, as God downloads things to you, express the creativity. I would encourage you to volunteer in your church. That is a good place to get experience, and God will start to show you things, and you'll be surprised. It is a spiritual experience as you express what God gives you. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Bye.